clearly the picture is not looking good. We're going to be closing around the day's low mark.
Yeah, so at the day's lows and predominantly for the Nifty Bank, though, as we said, the Nifty PSU banks also to be blamed. Second fall of over 5% in the last 1 month. That doesn't inspire too much of confidence. The mid caps and the small caps, they were faring a lot better. And these two have reversed completely. The small cap index is down almost, almost 1%, and the mid caps too, trading in the red. Yes, if you look at the Sensex contribution, you will see some stocks in the green, the likes of Reliance, etc. Bharti Airtel about 1.7% as well, and some gains for Adani Port, but that's okay. Look at this list here, and look at the quantum of banks which are out here. Yes, SBI, Axis, ICICI Bank, all four having a fair bit of red. IndusInd Bank, which is trading in the green at a point of time, is also down in the red. And there are stocks like Sun Pharma, TCS, etc., ITC about 1.5%. So all of these are putting the pressure, but predominantly concentrated around the banks and more so around the PSU banks, though you would have to say that on an index, it's also got to do with the corporate facing banks, the likes of Yes and Axis. Navneet, what about the broader end? That too has come off.
That's right, Neeraj. They too succumbed to pressure after the benchmarks fell off in the last hour of trade. Well, let me start off with few stocks which were locked in upper circuit today, and one of them is TTK Healthcare. The counter has seen a lot of buying interest in the recent past. As you can see, the intraday chart, it was up nearly 20%. Canterville Retail is the other one which was active, and I guess the move came just in the second half of the session, as the chart is indicating. So that also closing the day with gains of 20%. Nelco is the other one where a lot of these analysts are turning bullish, and today we had Mr. Chokalingam also giving his Panda pick of the day on this. This counter also closing the day with gains of nearly 20%. In the second half of the session, we saw Sonata Software surging. Now the numbers came last week, but at these levels there was some buying interest which was seen for Sonata Software. So finally a healthy closing for that counter. And talking about the mid-cap ID space, you had HCL Infosystem 2 which rose in today's session. The rise stocks were pretty active. On Monday you saw Monish Pabrai's fund checking into KRBL, so that stock was up, and Kohinoor Foods, ahead of its earnings, was trading very firmly in today's session. Let me talk about the losers then, and the list is actually dominated by the PSU banking space. So call it Punjab National Bank, which was the biggest loser in the Nifty PSU banking space. Bank of India was also under pressure, and besides the banking counters, you had NMDC, which reacted negatively to its earnings. The tire stocks, which were up on Monday's session, specifically JK Tire, saw some huge amount of selling pressure which came today after surging on Monday. So JK also closing the day around the day's low mark, Neeraj.
Well, so all in all, a lot of pressure at the fag end of trade. Bring up the Nifty, bring up the contributors list, and you will see a tick of banks and financial names right out there contributing on the negative side. ICICI, SBI, Axis, and by virtue of the heavyweight that it is, ITC out there, trying to be, Reliance tried to balance things out a little bit, but yeah, there's just too much of pressure that a clutch of heavyweights have put in, and I dare say I think the turnover would have picked up during the close of trade on the FNO side as well. Yeah, almost what we've been used to seeing. So 34,000 crores for NSE cash, FNO2 about 7 lakh crores, and it'll be interesting because tomorrow we'll have the weekly expiry, and you would expect some fun and games happening on the Nifty Bank and on the option side as well. So this number will be substantially higher in tomorrow's session. I just don't know how this sets us up for tomorrow, because we've had some bit of pain being taken out, but the global markets seem to be supportive. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens in trade tomorrow.
Yeah, Neeraj, considering it's the weekly options expiry day for Bank Nifty, and we fell almost 5% for the PSU Bank, there could be a bout of short covering that one can see, considering it is the expiry day, because we tend to see that volatility to come by once the rates are settled. Finally, we'll see the trend emerging once again on Friday.